Hey everyone, who here has teenagers? Let's talk about custody, parenting time, and teenagers. This week, this is what happened to one of my clients. Basically, her 16-year-old son opted to stay home from his week holiday or week of parenting time that he was scheduled to have with his father for a variety of reasons that he had. One of them being that the holiday time was scheduled with his father's girlfriend, who he's not crazy about, and he's been having some issues with his dad. So, the circumstance, the basic neutral fact of this problem is that the son didn't go. And then guess what happened? She received an email letter from the opposing counsel saying a bunch of things, such as your client continues to tell the children that it's up to them to decide when they will and when they will not attend their parenting time with their father. Your client continues to manipulate them emotionally. So that's the neutral circumstances of this problem. It's absolutely undeniable. Notice I didn't say that she got a nasty email from the opposing counsel because that would be an opinion word. In the circumstance line of the model, we put just the facts. 16-year-old son did not go with the dad on the 1 week holiday, and she received an email from the opposing counsel saying X, Y, and Z. So my client right away felt a lot of anxiety. She felt very anxious. And when I asked her why she was feeling anxious from this, her answer to me was, well, this is just going to play into their narrative, and they're trying to prove me an alienating parent, and they will use this against me. Is that a thought that plays in your head a lot of the time? So I want to deal with that thought today and what we're going to think when we see these false accusations in the emails and letters from opposing counsel. Well, let's first see what happens when we allow ourselves to think this way. We feel anxious. We think we feel anxious because we got this email from the opposing counsel. But the truth is, we feel anxious because of what we're making that email mean to us, how we're interpreting that email. We're making the email mean some flavor of, they're going to use this against me. A judge is going to believe his lawyer, something like that. Like, this email's really a problem. Does it really have to be a problem? We're going to look at that after. When you feel anxious because you're believing that they're going to use this against me, what do? Well, generally, you worry, you ruminate about it. You may cry, you may call me. My client did all of these things and for sure worried a lot. And then you go into a bit of a debate about decision drama. Should I convince my son to go? Should I maybe write an email to my ex to try to smooth the waters over? Um, am I perhaps being an alienating parent? Am I not facilitating this? Am I not doing the right thing? You start to have debate and drama in your own head about this when you're feeling anxious. And in essence, you actually get out of your own lane and you don't have your own back of the decisions that you've made, which is that your 16-year-old, you absolutely will encourage a relationship with his father, but you will also validate his feelings. And ultimately, at age 16, he pretty much gets to decide what he is prepared to stand for and not prepared to stand with. So when you're anxious and you're worrying and you're debating and you're doubting your role as a good mother, you are in a way acting against yourself. So, what else might you think when you get one of these emails from opposing counsel that's full of all sorts of sentences like, your client continues to manipulate the children emotionally? What else can you think about this? Same exact circumstance. You get this email, your son decides not to go on his parenting time, and you get an email from the opposing counsel. So, what are you going to think about it? Does this email have to be a problem for you? And what I want to suggest to you is it's totally okay for your ex to have his or her narrative about you. It's okay if he or she thinks you're an alienating parent or has all of these accusations that they're having his or her lawyer fling your way. You don't have to have a consensus of opinion of what kind of a parent you are. You probably never did your whole marriage, anyways. So, what I like to think is they have an opinion, they're entitled to it, and their opinion's not a problem for me. Because if you're grounded in your truth and you know your reality and the facts of the situation, 16-year-old child, you didn't influence him not to go. He made that decision himself. The decision is based on the series of events that have occurred over the last several months. As long as you're really grounded in your truth, everybody else can have a different opinion about what's really happening here. The facts are the facts. He said he wasn't going. You didn't tell him not to go. Those are the facts. Everybody's entitled to their varying opinions, and I say, let the haters hate. It's totally okay if somebody doesn't have a good opinion. So when you think in those terms that everybody's entitled to their opinion and it's okay if their opinion is not my reality, totally fine. In fact, it probably has not been your reality for the entirety of your relationship. Sorry, my dog is here. You feel a sense of calm confidence. And from that place of calm confidence, you'll always take great action. You'll stay right in your lane. You will not try to coerce your son to go. You will not try to appease or people please your ex. Um, what you will do is perhaps send your lawyer an email stating the facts of the events that have occurred so that he or she is up to date and is able to field this letter. And then you're going to remind your brain, it's okay. There's no danger here. I don't have to worry. I know my truth. And by this, the result is that you are grounded in your truth.